Go to the order.
I was going to comment on our agritourism in Lewis County. Last Saturday, my husband and I and some other friends went to the Newaukum Valley farm-to-table dinner off Spooner Road, and it was nice to see people from Seattle, Olympia, Tacoma there, enjoying our local food and oohing and awing in terms of what we have to offer in our area. I also went to the Southwest Writers Conference with Julie Zander and Sandy Kroll put together, and David Hartz had 3 long tables with books that are about Lewis County or by Lewis County authors, and it was pretty amazing what we have to offer in terms of our history, in terms of people who like to write books. And there was over 80 people there from all over the state that came to listen. So it's kind of like the hub of a writers' conference, but that was in Centroy at Centroy College on Saturday.
Let's see, I think there's, this Wednesday, I believe there's a open house for Centralia College East, which I will be there. And so if you get a chance to go up to the other end in God's country, make sure you stop by. And I think it's from 5 to 6:30 or 7, I'm not sure. What is that anyway? I've never heard one like that.
I haven't either. I'd like to just take a moment to comment on the day, celebration of what happened in September of 2001. 9/11. I think if you ask everybody in the room, where were you on that day, most of us can pretty much remember where we were. I lived on the East Coast at the time, so it was happening in real time for me. But I remember standing in my office and watching the television as the towers were hit, and then watching it later as they collapsed. It's something you never, ever are able to forget. And so I am especially deeply appreciative, since I have family members in Houston, Texas area. My son lives in Albany, Georgia, which is not far from the coast, and so I've got family members that have been affected by the 2 hurricanes, and Hurricane Irma now has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but that still means a lot of rain and a lot of wind, and my son's area may be affected by as much as 75 to 100 mile an hour winds.
Wow.
I have a deep, deep appreciation for our first responders, our law enforcement, our firefighters, on-site medical, all of those things working together to keep us safe, to make sure that people get the right kind of service that they need in case they're having an event, whether it's picking someone up from a home that's having a heart attack to putting out a fire or making sure that our streets are safe. It's a huge job, and I just want to commend. I wish they were here. I'd like to do it. Would have loved to have done it earlier, but I want to commend all of our police and fire and first responders that we have in Lewis County. They are the boots on the ground people, and they're the reason that we are safe. And so this is a monumental day in so many ways, and so I just want to say that to them and thank them for their service to our county.
Comments?
Ron Averill from Centralia area. I want to talk to the last item on the agenda that we had today. Bobby, this will give you a little bit better explanation. The federal government operates on a fiscal year that runs from 1 October to 30 September. After 30 years in the Army, I can tell you that one of the most interesting aspects of the federal budget is that the Congress, if you don't spend your money, usually takes it away from you. So what you have is a whole bunch of federal agencies who see some money sitting in the pot and are looking for ways to spend it before the 30th of September so that they don't get cut in the next year. And in this particular case, USGS had an opportunity to take advantage of $10,000 that would have rolled back into someone else's pocket if they didn't spend it. And they came to us, and we're sitting here with no capital budget. What we did have, as Commissioner Fund will be able to tell you, is that we had a considerable amount of money from projects and on both the small project side and the large project side that was in the previous biennium. And what happens is if you've got things contracted, that money rolls over into the operating budget, not the capital budget. And so, as we've explained in previous weeks, we found a way to get about $4 million to continue to run the Chehalis Basin projects until we do get a capital budget. In order to get the $10,000 that USGS had, we had to come up with a match and no capital budget. But thankfully, we were working with the RCO and with Jim Kramer, we found the necessary money to do that. And by the time we actually make the first payment, we'll probably have a capital budget. And we broke it up quarterly to take care of that as well. But we needed this approval because if we didn't commit to this before the 30th of September, it's all gone. And the money itself is being used for the gauges that we have in the Chehalis Basin. I think that we've briefed previously that there are a number of gauges that are on a rather old mapping system. It's called Data 81 or 88. And we've got newer mapping data, and we need to in studies that we've done with the gauging group, we found that some of these gauges are off by as much as 1 or 2 feet, which doesn't help when you're trying to predict what is going to happen in flooding. And so the project is to bring all of the gauges up to the same data standard. And so it's a really good project and one that will help us in future predictions of where flooding is going. So thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Any other comments? I don't have anything.
Go to the press conference.
Press conference? Do you have anything? Do I have any questions? Okay.
I was going to remind people that we start our budget meetings tomorrow, and anyone is welcome to come, even though you may not have signed up before. These are public meetings, so September 12th, 27th, and 28th. So we would appreciate people coming in. And Becky has put a calendar together that tells you what budget meetings are being held at what time. So if you're interested in a particular one, you can ask us and we can let you know when those particular budget meetings that you're interested in.
Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock it starts.
So. Okay, anything else? Entertain a motion?
Seeing no further items on our agenda, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, a motion been made and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.